Don't go away. We're getting grounded today. Hello and welcome to Sober Living Snippets with Becca Jacobson. That'd be me. We live alcohol free around here, or that's the goal anyway. Why? So we can feel youthful again. And trust me, you will. And we can heal up our relationships, not just with family, but our working relationships. And we can get rid of all that guilt and shame and a lot more too. So I'm so glad you're here. Welcome aboard. Today and this whole week, we are talking about strategies for sober living, different therapies, different techniques that we can use on the path. Because it's important that you find the path that's right for you, the path to sober living. We all have different ways of approaching life, different thoughts, different beliefs, things that appeal to us, things we don't believe in. So we got to find the recovery path that's right for us. And then we grab onto that path and hold on to it like a bulldog and take it all the way to happiness. We don't want to just float around on the surface of things. Find that path and do it. Take it, hold on to it, choose it as yours, and take it all the way. This is, another episode, and I've talked about this before, but it's one of the reasons I see people not getting sober. They start something and then go, oh, well, that, for a week or two, and then, well, that didn't work, and just forget all about it and go off and do something else after a couple of binges and this and that. No, find the path that's right for you and then hold on to that thing until you've got the results you wanted, that you believed you could get. Anyway, off on a tangent, but really, really important. So today, I'm super excited to be bringing to you information on somatic experiencing or somatic therapy for alcoholism. First of all, what is somatic experiencing? What is somatic therapy? Somatic just means pertaining to the body. And this one is a little different because in this show, I talk mostly about mindset. I talk about altering our subconscious approach to life. So this is kind of different, right? Of course, in my program, we don't ignore the body. It's very important that we start moving the body once we stop drinking. Many of us haven't been exercising. We need to get our diet. We need to up to speed so that we're healthy. So we're not just giving up alcohol when I help people. I also help them to adopt a more healthy lifestyle. And that includes, by all means, absolutely getting the body moving and healthy. But other than that, we know we're working between the ears. So somatic experiencing is actually the opposite. It's about remaining anchored in the body. And this actually is very important because the body will hold trauma. The body holds on to emotions. When we've been carrying emotions around for years, it can get locked in our neck, our back, our digestive system, and all of these ailments that we're experiencing are actually tied to emotions that we haven't released. So it is important that we talk about the body. It is important that we understand the role of the body in our recovery. Now, somatic experiencing is anchoring ourselves in the body to discover where these blocks are. And that's why, and then learning how to release them. Addiction is generally, and many times, often a response to stress and trauma. We're addicted to alcohol because it helps us cope, or we've lived through traumatic experiences, and so we turn to alcohol. You can use somatic experiencing to get into the body, get grounded in the body, feel the body, understand what the body's doing, and release this trauma, release the stress, release the emotions that we're holding on to in the body. That can help us to not need alcohol. So that just makes sense, right? Somatic experiencing is used for many, many ailments, and alcoholism is definitely among them. It's definitely one of them. Would this be a full recovery program? No, it wouldn't. I honestly don't think it would. We would want to use this in conjunction with a recovery program that is more rounded, that includes, of course, others and includes real accountability. But it can be very powerful if we are experiencing trauma, experiencing stress in the body. This shows up as chronic pain, as digestive problems, as I already mentioned. So sometimes we don't put two and two together and realize that we're having physical ailments because of emotional blocks. And that's an important thing to understand. So if we can get relief from chronic pain and stress and anxiety and depression through somatic experiencing, that can help us to let go of the bottle, right? It's really, really powerful. So I would recommend this if you are having physical ailments along with your addiction. You see, this was not something I experienced. I've always been just healthy as a freaking horse. I've never had any kind of illness, physical illness. I mean, I'm crazy as a lark, right? I mean, I've had all sorts of emotional problems over the years and depression, and it turns out all of it was just caused by drinking and drugs. But I thought I was really a couple of points in my life. I thought I was crazy, but I know they're not politically correct, but there it is. My point is, but I've never had physical problems. I've never had chronic pain of any kind, but I know, my mom certainly did, and I definitely know that this does accompany many people's journey to recovery. They come into my program or they come into my world, and they're drinking, but they're also experiencing physical problems, whether it even just the inability to lose weight. So deciding to have a look at somatic experiencing therapy, which will get us grounded in the body and help us to release the emotions that can be tied, really locked in the body, can be incredibly powerful if that is what you're experiencing. It's not recommended, as I said, that we take this as our only path to recovery. It can be combined with CBD, cognitive behavioral therapy, or some sort of coaching program, meditation, breath work, body mind connection, whatever it is we choose. It's not something we would just try and do alone. None of these really are. We need a well rounded recovery solution, which is what I offer in my program. So, like all of these, if this appeals to you, if you think, wow, that really sounds like it would help me, then that is what you should be doing. It's just like I've been saying every day here. These are options we have. It's like we're looking at a menu and we have to decide what we want to try. And if it appeals to you and makes you feel excited, then do it because that's what's going to make it work for you. For others, it might not work. They might think, no, I'm not interested in that. I want to learn about other things, or I wanted, that's fine. The whole point of this week and me bringing these to you is so that you can decide what might work for you and what makes you excited. And I keep using the word excited because that is how I think you should approach this. If what I'm saying about somatic experiencing excites you, then I think you should try it. Or if what I'm saying about meditation or hypnotherapy or tapping excites you, then that's the one you should grab onto. Go with the one that makes you feel like, wow, I want to do that, because that's just going to give you success, right? Do not do something that you don't want to do because it won't work. If someone's trying to push you in a certain direction and you don't want to do it, it's not going to work for you. Right? Right. Okay. There it is. We need a do for today. My do for you. And if, by the way, if you're new, let me take a moment here for those who might be new. Every day here at the Snippets, I give you a tiny, simple, not always easy, but always simple do to do. It never takes very long, anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. And if you collect 30 of these do's, you can send it in to me and I will put your name in a draw for a 1 hour coaching session with me. And that's a coaching session, not a sales call. And not only that, but you'll get an honorable mention here on the show, first names only. So I encourage you to go to the show notes and download the tracker and start doing the do's. If you don't want to send it in to me, that's fine. But doing it for yourself is powerful because everything I ask you to do, every do I give you is good for you. And not only that, but if you say to yourself, I'm going to see if I can do 30 do's in a row, that's an accomplishment, which feeds into the subconscious and is very, very healthy. So I do the do's just to give you one more thing that you can do if you want to help yourself feel better. Everything has to be if you want to. right? Never am I nagging. Are you doing your do? You have to want to do the do, right? Of course. Okay, so today's do is getting you outside of yourself. Today, I want you to do something for someone else. We've done this before. It's time to do it again. Today, at some point today, and by the way, I publish these snippets at 5 a.m. every weekday, 5 a.m. Pacific. Now, I realize those of you in other countries and different time zones are not necessarily getting them in the morning, but I recommend that you listen to them in the morning so that you've got the rest of the day to do your due. Today, I want you to find somebody who needs a hand, even if it's someone who needs a smile. If you are paying for something today and the person behind the till, it doesn't have a smile and they look like they're stressed, give them a smile or an encouraging word. Do something for somebody today who looks like they could use an uplift. And it can even just be a smile. This always makes us feel better. Let's stop thinking about ourselves only today. And I'm not that you're self centered, although most of us alcoholics are. That's another show. But let's do something for someone else today. And that will also give you a break from thinking about yourself and doing some of the hard stuff I've been giving you this week, like looking in the mirror, right? Right. Okay, that wraps up another week of snippets. Holy wow, time does fly, doesn't it? So, your due for the weekend, as always, is to drink an extra glass of water on Saturday, eat a piece of fruit on Sunday. Do you eat enough fruit? Do you drink enough water? Now's your chance. You can knock off 2 easy do's over the weekend. I'll be back on Monday. And next week, oh, I'm so excited. Next week, we're going back to basics. We are going back to basics. Why should we get sober and how? Literally, next week, I'm going to talk to you about how to get your first 5 days of sobriety. I'm going to, for those of you who are still drinking and you're still trying to get that first day, first, second day, third day, that's what we're going to do next week. I'm going to be here for you and I am going to encourage you each and every day to take the day off. So I want you to think about this over the weekend. What if you commit to going sober starting on Monday with me? I mean, I'm already sober, but I will walk you through 5 days next week. So day one could be Monday for you, or you could start it now. I'm not suggesting you have to drink all weekend, but if that's where you're at and you're having a hard time getting your first days of sobriety, or if you're struggling, you get a day or two or three in a week and then you relapse again. If you're one of those chronic relapsers like I was, next week will be very helpful. And if you want to do it, you can actually use the morning snippet to go day by day sober with me next week. Let's go back to basics. And if you are sober, it's going to be helpful to remind you because we always need reminding. All right, that's it. That brings us to the end of another week together. Thank you for spending some of your life with me. See you Monday. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.